So tonight we lead with a right of reply as Nyesom Wike fights back, attempting to fend off accusations of land grabbing in the Federal Capital Territory and criticism of his handling of land allocation applications. Recently, he was accused on this program by the senator representing Abuja in the National Assembly, Senator Ireti Kingibe, of autocratic leadership, of not obeying the rules, of secretly allocating thousands of hectares of land to his sons, and of using government land for personal gain. And she alleged that when she draws his attention to the fact that governance has to be based on the rule of law, he refuses to accept this. Amid the angry bickering and fierce recriminations, Senator Kingibe launched an even more incendiary offensive, saying that if a list was made of all the things President Tinubu had done wrong, the greatest of them all, in her assessment, would be the appointment of Minister Wike as a minister. She suggested that the level of impunity taking place in the FCT under Mr. Wike was casting the Tinubu administration in a very bad light. Take a listen to her piling up the political rubble against Minister Nyesom Wike.
The minister he doesn't obey the rule of law. He's autocratic. He doesn't follow any rules or any laws. And when you try to draw his attention that governance is based on laws, the rule of law, he doesn't accept that. For instance, Abuja University had approximately 11,000 hectares. Minister Wike has revoked 7,000 of it and left them with 4. It is definitely against the Land Use Act. If I were making a list of all the things that President Tinubu has done wrong, the greatest wrong he's done to himself, the thing that has demarketed him the most, has been on Minister Wike. I have documents to show that when Minister Wike allocated land to his sons, huge tracts of land, fine, as he says, though they are his sons, they're entitled to land, no problem. But the bills, I have them documented, of 200 million that you need to pay, 100 million here that you need to pay. They wrote to him asking that the bill, he should give a waiver and reduce it. Within 48 hours, they are going from 200 million to 22 million.
And that's illegal, isn't it?
Of course it's illegal.
Right.
At the very least, it's unfair, it's unethical, at the very least. And these things, I am a civil engineer, I'm a fact person. I wouldn't come here without I wouldn't say so publicly without having the facts and the documents.
Senator Ireti Kingibe. Well, for Minister Wike's right of reply, I'm joined now in the studio by Lere Olayinka, Senior Special Assistant to the Minister on Public Communication and Social Media. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Good evening. Thanks for having me here once again.
So you have your right of reply on behalf of the Minister. Go right ahead.
Well, the first thing I will say is that when the minister, when the accidental, I call her accidental senator for a reason, when the accidental senator was making that kind of allegation, I would have expected that a follow-up question should have been asked. Where are the documents?
Well, she said she had the documents.
If she said, it is
but
not.
She wasn't going to put them up on air.
It is not enough for me. Can I just come here now to say, oh, I have evidence of you committing crime. I have evidence of you, and you want the public to believe that you actually committed crime.
Well, there's a difference between you alleging that I committed a crime and you alleging that someone else committed a crime.
What she should have been asked was, where are the documents? Because there are no documents.
Let me just make this point, and I don't mean to interrupt you because you do have a right of reply. But when somebody says they have documents, I can't start asking them, is the document under your bed sheet?
That is what I'm saying.
Is it in the hands of a lawyer? No. She says she has the documents.
That is what I'm saying.
So that's,
and I am challenging her now.
It's for you to challenge her.
I am challenging her to bring documents showing the names of children of the minister. She should, because I listened to her talking about the minister not obeying the rule of law, not obeying this. Does she know law?
Well,
Let me
go ahead.
Let me conclude. Because if she knows law, she won't come out the other time to say it was wrong to revoke land based on non-payment of ground rent. If she knows law, because Section 28, subsection A and B of the Land Use Act is very clear. It states reasons land can be revoked. And that section clearly stated that every condition given to you in your RFO, the moment you contravene any of those conditions, it is a ground for revocation of your...
Yeah, but we all know that in the course of going after people for monies they owe, especially quite small amounts of money, I mean 80,000 naira, this and that, you go to an embassy or you go to somebody's house and you're going to revoke their land rather than approaching them and trying to get the money from them.
Know that
her argument was that's an extreme response to a situation.
The issue is this. Before that step was taken, there were publications, there were newspaper advertisements, there were announcements on radio since last year, October. 2 months was given, 3 months, 4 months, and all that. If government made publications and said, we will do this if you don't do this in 3 weeks, and government now waited for 6 months, will you still blame government for not telling you? Meanwhile, payment of ground rent, it is without demand on your RFO. It is stated that you have to pay every year without demand from the government. You see, the problem here is that people like our accidental senator Ireti, because I call her alias Kingibe, because she's not supposed to be bearing that name Kingibe any longer.
Well, let me take you up on that, because that's a value judgment on your part, which has nothing to do. She's perfectly entitled as the ex-wife of someone. She changed her name to Kingibe. All her documents became reflected in Kingibe. And there's no part of the world you'll go to where you don't have the right to retain a name that you changed your name to. You have every right. She has every right to do that.
We are not on that. We are not here on that.
Yeah, but you brought it up.
I mentioned it to you. If you are married to me and I'm no longer married to you and I've come out to say, stop bearing my name.
Did he come out to say stop bearing her name?
Find out from her.
No. Did he come out? You're saying find out from her.
You're
making that allegation.
I am telling you that the husband did say that, don't answer my name again. The husband said that.
He came out and said that?
The husband said that. The husband is alive. Ambassador Kingibe is alive.
Yeah, but even if he... assuming, which I doubt.
I want to...
Because Kingibe is not the kind of person who gets into that kind of thing.
Let us not go into that.
But let me ask you
She said that.
Yeah.
She alleged... She said here that... She claimed here that the minister allocated land to his children. And I'm saying it here that there is no single allocation to any of the children of the FCT minister.
Well, she says she has documents.
That is what I'm saying. That is why I'm saying here that I'm challenging her here to produce those documents.
Or you can go to court.
There have been 2 publications.
You can go to court. You can take her to court if you want.
We won't dignify her for that, because somebody got into the Senate, like I said, accidentally. She's looking for a way to retain that seat in 2027, which she knows that will no longer be possible. But let me also say this.
Yeah.
There were 2 publications. One came up. The minister allocated land to Joak Farm Nigeria Limited. And in the story, it was mentioned that the land was allocated to one of the sons of the minister by name Joaquin. Because you have a child whose name is Joaquin. When you now see Joak Farm automatically now belongs to Joaquin. And that publication also said that 2,080 hectares of land were allocated to that minister's son in Asokoro and Maitama, The entire Asokoro and Maitama Abuja put together is not up to the two districts are not up to 2,000 square meters.
Well, to be entirely fair,
they're not up to.
To be fair, I'm not sure that was what she was referring to in her allegation.
I'm also,
she said
that is the only thing. That is the only thing.
Well, that's what you're.
I have to also clear that.
She said that she has documents, so you can go to her and make her get the documents out.
Yeah. I'm saying here that I'm challenging her to produce those documents. I'm challenging her.
Well, we also
she should bring those documents.
Yeah, but you have to remember, because we just used a clip of her. I mean, we can't run the entire interview, but we did ask her as the interview progressed, whether or what she was going to do with those documents, and she said she was going to bring them up at an appropriate time at a committee hearing and present it to the National Assembly and all the rest of it. So perhaps you ought to push her to press that.
You see, you have evidence. You have evidence of somebody being a thief, and you are saying that you will produce the evidence to the public at appropriate time. Is there any appropriate time to expose a thief?
No. She said she will take it to the National Assembly and to the committees that would need to investigate
such document. And she came to this place to say, "Oh, the major mistake the president made was appointing Wike as minister." I guess that the moment that woman became a senator, she has not visited anywhere in this FCT. I wish that she should go to Pai, Gomani, Yangoji. She should go there. She should go to Kabusa Keti. She should go to Kabusa Takusara. She should go to Usafa. She should go to Buhari. She should go to all this area. She should go to Akpowasa, where roads have been built, where there was no road before. She should go there, and she should go to Akpo Mechanic Village and tell them that President Tinubu made mistake by appointing Wike. She should come to Abuja public and tell the public this.
She says that the main issue is that Minister Wike doesn't obey the rule of law.
That is why I said,
hold on,
does she even know the law?
Doesn't follow any rules and is autocratic. And that when she tries to reach out to him,
reach out to him to do what?
Well, she says she's written to him.
To reach out to him
to communicate with him.
To communicate with him.
I mean, she's the minister in charge of Abuja. And she has a right to communicate with him.
Is she a member of the Senate Committee on FCT? Is she a member of the Senate Committee on FCT Area Council? The fact that you are a senator representing Abuja does not mean that you should now pretend over Abuja. When you get to the Senate, you are members of committees. And let me also say this: the president of Nigeria is the governor of FCT by right, by power.
Well, let me just say this, okay? So because this is important.
Let me conclude. If she has any issue on FCT, she should write to the president, because the president is the governor of FCT. Minister Wike is superintending over Abuja on behalf of the president. So if she has any issue concerning FCT, she should write to the president, who is the governor of the FCT.
No. If he is superintending over, it's like saying that the estate assembly cannot go and talk to. In other words, if a committee is oversighting a commissioner, you should not go and talk to that commissioner. You should go and talk to the governor. I mean, that's absurd.
Is she a member of any committee?
Okay. Let me attempt to answer that question. She says she's not expecting the minister to report to her, but she expects to work in synergy with the minister. There is something, and I'm sure you're probably aware of this, because you're quite an intelligent man. Hold on, let me make this point.
Continue.
There is institutional oversight, which is what the National Assembly has over the FCT, because the National Assembly is kind of like the State Assembly over the FCT. And then there is something called representational oversight, which she has. So if there is something he's doing wrong, she can bring a petition or a motion against him and ask for that to be investigated. And that's what she said she's going to do.
If there's something wrong, there is Senate Committee on FCT.
No, you interrupted me. You didn't let me finish the point.
Okay, finish.
She has what is called representational oversight because she represents the people of the FCT.
Yes.
She was elected by them.
Yes.
And therefore, if he's done something wrong, she can bring a petition or a motion against him and ask for that to be investigated. That's what she said she's going to do in the assembly. She can also bring a private member's bill, so there are privileges and rights that she has. And she can also write to him and ask for his response and his simple courtesy for him to respond.
Nobody is saying that she does not have that kind of power.
So why doesn't he respond when she writes to him?
The issue is this. If there's any issue concerning FCT, there is a committee of the FCT, Senate Committee on FCT in the Senate. That is the appropriate body that you can go and talk to.
Yeah, but she can try and communicate with him first.
You cannot. You can.
What do you mean she cannot? No, she can.
You can only do that. You can only do that at, okay, you can do that
of course she can.
As I am, I can communicate with you.
Yeah.
As she is. She can communicate to the minister.
And she says she's tried to do that.
It is also the right of the minister to either receive a communication or not.
Well, not on that level.
No.
I mean, it is inappropriate not to respond to a senator in charge of an entire senatorial district.
Nothing is okay. If a senator writes to you now that you should remove your shirt,
that's an absurd analogy.
That's what we're saying.
It's an absurd analogy.
When a senator begins to write that it is wrong for government to sanction those who refuse to pay ground rent, when a senator begins to write that it is appropriate for people who own property not to pay their dues, because he said so. It is in the media. And you want that kind of senator to be taken seriously?
No. I think you're taking it a bit too far. But you see, the point is this. There is nothing wrong with... Look, in every situation...
Governance is not
I'm
personal.
sure you have good experience
I said,
of
my
law.
brother, governance is not personal.
No.
It is an institution.
Yeah,
She's a member of the Senate.
But the point,
if she asks anything concerning the FCT, there's Senate Committee on FCT. There's Senate Committee on FCT Area Council. Well, why can't she approach those committees?
Let me attempt to answer that, and I don't speak for her. But I mean, the point is this: there are a number of things that are taking place. If you say you're going to revoke somebody's land, there are always, even in court, there are mitigating circumstances. And it is for her, who represents the people of the FCT, to intercede on their behalf.
Did she
try and communicate.
Did she do that?
Well, that's what she said. She said she tried to communicate with your people, with the minister, and the minister refused to respond.
Let us differentiate issues. There's difference between doing your job and playing to the gallery.
Yeah.
If she actually wants to do her job, there's a stipulated way to do it. Approach the Senate. Report to the Senate. I'm a member of this Senate.
Well, she's intending to do that.
Intending since when now?
Because she tried to. No. She gave him.
You are intending after she has been here to make unfounded allegations.
What she did was that she tried. According to her, let me just make the point. Let me make the point.
Never do now.
Let me make the point.
Has she done it?
She made the effort, according to her, to try to communicate with him on several occasions. She wrote to him, he didn't reply.
My question,
she made overtures towards him. He did not respond.
Listen,
and that is why she then said she's going to take the next step.
You are emphasizing on she wrote. The minister was in the Senate to present FCT budget. She saw the minister there. Did she raise this issue there? She did not. She was there clapping for the minister, praising the minister, commending him. In the Senate, when the minister was with the Senate committee on FCT, when she was there.
What about the issue of the University of Abuja and the 11,000 hectares of land that was allocated?
The question I want to ask you is this. The question, which university in this country sits on 11,000 hectares of land?
Well,
do you know?
Let me ask the question.
Let me. You answer.
I mean, you're asking yourself questions, not me.
I've asked question. I want to give you so that you can answer. 11,000 hectares of land at 500 square meter per plot is over 200,000 plots. Over 200,000.
Can I say this, okay? Senator Tejuosho, Olanrewaju Tejuosho, is the pro-chancellor of the University of Abuja.
Yes.
He's a member of the APC. He came and sat where you are, and he was almost livid about what Minister Wike has done. So it's not just Senator Ireti Kingibe. He said very clearly, both Senator Kingibe and the pro-chancellor, completely independent of each other, have said on this program that Mr. Wike revoked 7,000 of those hectares of land and left them with 4,000. And that in fact, because 2,000 of that is mountainous territory, what they actually have in terms of land that they can use to do anything is 2,000 hectares. And the senator gave an example of other universities that are sitting on 15,000 hectares, 13,000 hectares.
What is NUT provision on land, on the level of land the university must have?
Well, according to them,
is 100 hectares.
According to them,
by NUC regulation, is
according
100
to them,
hectares.
No. According to them, the issue here is that first of all, it was allocated by the government. It's a federal university. It's not a private university.
Yes.
So it was allocated by the government. They couldn't have taken the land by themselves. So the same government that he represents allocated that land to them, and they say that it is against the Land Use Act for him to take land from institutions and give them to individuals. Is that what he's intending to do?
The issue is this. Let me clear this. As a university set up over 35 years ago, the question is, and I'm putting this to journalists, apart from you, people listening to us, we should go and ask how much of that land has the university used over 35 years ago? The issue is when government gives you land, today in the FCT, there is a new rule now. When you get land allocation, you must develop within 2 years. If you don't develop within 2 years, the government takes its land back. Because even allocating land to you, your CFO for land, it is a lease, so people don't know. When you are giving CFO for land by government, it is a lease for 99 years. You don't own the land. The government leases the land to you. So the person who leases a land to you can take it back under certain conditions. And at the end of that, because the lease agreement is 99 years, it is stated on the CFO.
Well, let me ask you this before we have to go. What are the issues do you think that are challenging the relationship between the two of them? And wouldn't it be better for Abuja, better for the minister, better for the president, and better for Senator Kingibe if they just worked out some kind of a seamless relationship?
There is no relationship. One, there's no relationship. That you are a senator representing, say, Ekiti Central. I'm from Ekiti. You are a senator representing the Ekiti Central. That does not make you a co-governor to the governor of Ekiti State. It doesn't. That you are a senator representing FCT does not make you a co-minister. Your job is in the Senate. Let her do it. Our job is in the Senate.
No, her job is to represent the people as well.
Let her do her job in the Senate.
Her job is to represent the people.
It is to represent the people, not to regulate the minister.
He's not regulating the minister.
That is what I'm saying. It is when you see in my place, in Yoruba land, we call something tojubole. Tojubole eran nuru. That is what the senator is doing. She's doing Tojubole.
And what does that mean?
For
the millions of Nigeria who don't understand what the blue blistering barnacles you're talking about.
Should naturally not concern her. Because one, there are ministers there. All other ministers, Minister of Works, relate with the Senate and House of Rep Committee on Works. Minister of Environment relate with Senate Committee on Environment. So Minister of FCT relate every commissioning that we did. 16 project commission in 16 days. All the projects, there was none of the project that the chairman Senate Committee on either FCT or FCT Area Council, Senator David Jimputa, was always available. When we went to commission Pai Road, the senator was there. Kabusa Keti, he was there. So the person in the National Assembly that the ministers must relate with are the members of the Senate Committee on FCT, members of the House of Rep Committee on FCT.
Well, let me say this.
Let Senator Ireti Kingibe face our own job. Let us also go and pay our aides that she's owing like 5 months salaries. She should pay her aides.
Right. Well, let me just say this, that if she is not, as a senator representing Abuja, and that's not your concern, to be fair, but I'm just saying this generally, if she is not, as a senator representing Abuja, a member of the Senate Committee on the FCT, because the FCT has only one senator, and because that's why they call it a unique state, for its representatives to effectively protect the interests of the FCT, especially through the FCT budget and so on. Representatives like the senator should be part of that institutional oversight committee of the Senate. So if she's not there, then that's a terrible error.
That should be the job of the Senate.
Yeah.
That should be the job of the Senate.
That's why I said that it doesn't concern you directly.
What I'm saying is that the woman should concern herself with her duty in the Senate.
Well,
she should not be doing what they say in the street. Cho-cho-cho-cho-cho. Cho-cho-cho-cho is too much.
I like that. Well, you've had your right of reply, and it's been nice to have you in here. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Lere Olayinka is Senior Special Assistant to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory on Public Communication and Social Media. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.